the Arabian Peninsula, a land of scorching deserts, ancient cities, and untold stories. For centuries, explorers have braved its harsh beauty, their names etched in the annals of history. But some journeys remain shrouded in mystery, their secrets hidden by the sands of time. This is the story of one such explorer, a man whose adventures rivaled the greatest, yet whose name has faded into obscurity. Colonel Boscawen, a name whispered in hushed tones by desert tribesmen, a legend passed down through generations. Between 1929 and 1933, this enigmatic figure embarked on 3 daring expeditions into the heart of Hadramaut, a remote region in southern Arabia. His travels would take him to places unseen by Western eyes for decades, his discoveries challenging our understanding of this ancient land. What drove this man to venture into the unknown? What treasures did he uncover in the desolate expanse? Join us as we retrace the footsteps of Colonel Boscawen, piecing together his remarkable journey from faded maps, scattered artifacts, and the memories of those who crossed his path. The Empty Quarter, a vast, unforgiving desert stretching across the southern Arabian Peninsula. Here, amidst towering sand dunes and scorching temperatures, lies Hadramaut, a land steeped in history and shrouded in legend. For centuries, this remote region remained largely unexplored, a blank spot on the map of the world. But rumours persisted, whispers carried on the desert wind, of ancient cities lost to the sands, of strange creatures roaming the desolate plains, of tribes who had never seen a European face. These whispers reached the ears of adventurers and explorers, igniting a thirst for discovery. In the early 20th century, a handful of intrepid souls ventured into Hadramaut, their journeys fraught with peril and hardship. They returned with tales that both captivated and baffled the outside world, fueling further speculation about the secrets hidden within the desert's embrace. Among these explorers was Colonel Boscawen, a man who would leave an indelible mark on this forgotten land. Mildmay Thomas Boscawen. A man of contradictions, a soldier turned explorer, a scholar who shunned the limelight. Born into a life of privilege, he chose a path less travelled, seeking adventure and knowledge in the world's most remote corners. His story is one of courage, curiosity, and an unyielding passion for the unknown. Boscawen's journey began in the trenches of World War I, where he served with distinction, earning both the Military Cross and Distinguished Service Order for his bravery. But the horrors of war left an indelible mark, fueling a desire for peace and a longing to explore the world beyond the battlefield. After the war, he sought solace in the tranquility of East Africa, establishing a successful sisal plantation in Tanganyika. It was here that he first encountered the people and stories of Hadramaut, tales that sparked a fire in his imagination and set him on a course to unravel the mysteries of this forgotten land. (1929). The year marked a turning point in Colonel Boscawen's life. Driven by an insatiable curiosity and a thirst for adventure, he set his sights on Hadramaut, a land shrouded in mystery and veiled from the eyes of most Westerners. His destination, Shibam, a city whispered to exist in the heart of the desert, a testament to human resilience and architectural ingenuity. The journey was arduous, a test of both man and machine. Boscawen, accompanied by a small, hand-picked team of local guides and porters, navigated their Ford Model A truck across treacherous terrain, the sun beating down mercilessly. Days turned into nights as they traversed vast stretches of barren desert, their progress punctuated by the occasional oasis offering respite from the unforgiving heat. Each sunset brought them closer to the fabled city, each sunrise a testament to their unwavering resolve. The air, thick with anticipation, crackled with the unknown. They were pioneers, venturing into a land untouched by modern exploration, their senses heightened, their minds racing with the possibilities that lay ahead. The further they journeyed, the more they relied on the expertise of their guides, men who knew the desert's secrets, who read the language of the wind-blown sand. The guides, in turn, looked upon Boscawen with a mixture of awe and respect, recognizing in him a kindred spirit, a man drawn to the allure of the unknown. As dawn broke on the 10th day of their journey, a sight emerged from the desert haze that took their breath away. Rising from the desert floor like a mirage stood Shibam, a city of towering structures, their mud-brick walls shimmering in the morning light. This was no ordinary settlement. It was a marvel of ancient architecture, a testament to human ingenuity and artistry. The city, nicknamed the Manhattan of the Desert, boasted buildings that soared up to 10 stories high, a testament to the sophisticated engineering skills of its ancient builders. These structures, constructed from sun-baked mud bricks, had withstood the test of time and the harsh desert elements for centuries, their intricate designs and towering forms captivating all who beheld them. Boscawen, his heart pounding with excitement, ordered his team to set up camp on the outskirts of the city. He had read ancient texts and travelers' tales, but nothing could have prepared him for the reality that unfolded before his very eyes. It was as if he had stepped back in time, transported to a bygone era of ancient civilizations and architectural wonders. He spent the next few days exploring the labyrinthine streets and alleyways of Shibam, marveling at the intricate carvings that adorned the buildings in the bustling marketplace where locals traded goods and stories. The people of Shibam, intrigued by the arrival of this stranger from a distant land, welcomed him with open arms, their hospitality as warm as the desert sun. His time in Shibam ignited within Boscawen an even deeper desire to explore the hidden corners of this ancient land. The whispers of lost cities and uncharted territories that had first lured him to Hadramaut now resonated with greater urgency. He was determined to venture further, to push the boundaries of exploration and uncover the secrets buried beneath the shifting sands. After bidding farewell to the hospitable people of Shibam, Boscawen and his team packed their supplies and set their sights on their next destination, Tarim, a city even more remote and less explored than Shibam. It was said to be a place of great learning and religious significance, a center of Islamic scholarship, and a repository of ancient knowledge. The journey to Tarim was fraught with even greater challenges than the last. The terrain grew increasingly treacherous. The desert winds whipped up fierce sandstorms that threatened to engulf them, and the unforgiving sun beat down relentlessly. But Boscawen, undeterred, pressed on, his determination fueled by an unyielding thirst for knowledge and a desire to shed light on this forgotten corner of the world. As they ventured deeper into the unknown, they encountered nomadic tribesmen, their lives intertwined with the rhythms of the desert. These encounters, though brief, left an indelible mark on Boscawen, revealing to him the resilience and resourcefulness of the human spirit in the face of adversity. One. A new year, a new expedition. The success of Boscawen's first foray into Hadramaut only fueled his desire to delve deeper into the region's mysteries. His sights were now set on the eastern reaches, towards the unexplored stretches of Wadi Masila, a dry riverbed rumoured to hold ancient secrets and forgotten settlements. Leaving the familiar comforts of Shibam behind, Boscawen and his loyal team once again braved the unforgiving desert. Their trusty Ford Model A symbol of modernity against the ancient backdrop, bounced and rattled across the uneven terrain, leaving a trail of dust in its wake. Each revolution of its wheels carried them further from civilization, closer to the heart of the unknown. The landscape of Wadi Masila was starkly different from the towering sand dunes of the empty quarter. Here, Towering cliffs of ochre and crimson rose from the desert floor, their weathered faces etched with the passage of millennia. The wadi, dry for most of the year, snaked through this dramatic landscape, a testament to the power of nature's forces. Despite its desolate beauty, Wadi Masila was not devoid of life. Along its course, Boscawen encountered nomadic Bedouin tribes, their lives intricately intertwined with the rhythms of the desert. These encounters, marked by mutual respect and a shared love for the land, provided invaluable insights into the region's history and lore. Section 2. Shadows of Shabwa. The name Shabwa hung in the air like a desert mirage, a whisper of a legendary city swallowed by the sands of time. Once a thriving hub on the ancient incense trade route, Shabwa had faded into legend, its ruins said to be guarded by hostile tribes and unforgiving terrain. For Boscawen, the allure of such a place was irresistible. Guided by fragmentary maps and tales passed down through generations, the expedition pushed eastward, the elusive ruins of Shabwa their beacon. The journey was fraught with challenges, the terrain growing increasingly treacherous, the scorching sun beating down relentlessly. Yet the promise of rediscovering a lost city spurred them onward. As they finally approached the outskirts of the ancient city, a palpable tension settled over the team. The wind, now carrying the whispers of forgotten centuries, seemed to warn them away. Suddenly, shots rang out, echoing through the desolate landscape. They had been spotted by local tribesmen, wary of outsiders and fiercely protective of their territory. Forced to retreat, Boscawen couldn't help but feel a pang of disappointment. Despite his desire to set foot within Shabwa's walls, he knew that respecting local customs and traditions was paramount. He vowed to return another day, hoping for a more peaceful encounter. Section 3. Wadi Irma, a moment of tranquility. With their Shabwa ambitions temporarily thwarted, Boscawen decided to alter course, seeking solace and new discoveries in the less-travelled Wadi Irma. This detour, though unplanned, would prove to be a welcome respite from the challenges of the expedition. Unlike the harsh, unforgiving terrain they had grown accustomed to, Wadi Irma greeted them with an unexpected burst of life. Lush palm groves lined the wadi's banks, their emerald fronds swaying gently in the breeze. The air, heavy with the scent of blooming oleander and acacia, was a welcome change from the dry desert air. For Boscawen, this unexpected oasis offered a chance to indulge in his passion for natural history. He spent hours observing the local birdlife, meticulously recording his observations, and collecting specimens for the Natural History Museum back in London. The people of Wadi Irma, intrigued by these visitors from a distant land, welcomed them with open arms. Evenings were spent sharing stories and songs around crackling campfires, the stars twinkling above like celestial diamonds scattered across the velvet sky. Section 4. The long road back. As much as he relished the tranquility of Wadi Irma, Boscawen knew it was time to begin the long journey back to Aden. His supplies were dwindling, and he yearned to share his discoveries with the outside world. The expedition packed up their camp, bid farewell to their newfound friends, and pointed the nose of their trusty Ford Model A westward. Their route took them across vast stretches of desert, through bustling marketplaces and sleepy villages. Along the way, Boscawen continued to document the people, landscapes, and wildlife he encountered, his notebooks filling with observations and sketches. As they finally reached the familiar sights and sounds of Aden, Boscawen couldn't help but feel a sense of accomplishment wash over him. He had ventured into the heart of the unknown, faced challenges head-on, and returned with a treasure trove of experience and discovery. His journey was far from over. In fact, it was just the beginning. "1933. The pull of the unexplored desert remained as strong as ever for Colonel Boscawen. His previous expeditions had only fueled his desire to venture further, to seek out the hidden corners of Hadramaut that lay beyond the familiar caravan routes. This time, his sights were set on the northern deserts, a vast and unforgiving expanse rumoured to be home to the elusive South Arabian oryx. Word had reached Boscawen of a legendary wadi, untouched by modern explorers for decades, where ancient rock carvings whispered of a bygone era. Wadi Sur, as it was known, held a particular allure. It had last been visited by the renowned explorers Theodore and Mabel Bent in 1897, their accounts sparking Boscawen's imagination. He was determined to follow in their footsteps, to see these wonders with his own eyes and document them for the world to appreciate. Beyond Wadi Sur lay the territory of the Sayar tribe, known for their fierce independence and their deep connection to the desert. Boscawen had heard tales of their hospitality, but also of their protectiveness of their land and traditions. He knew that to gain access to their territory, he would need to approach with respect and humility, relying on diplomacy and understanding. The journey north promised to be arduous, even by Boscawen's standards. Water would be scarce, the sun relentless, and the terrain challenging. But the allure of the unknown, the chance to make a real contribution to the understanding of this ancient land, outweighed any risk. After weeks of meticulous planning and preparation, Boscawen and his team set off from the coastal town of Mukalla. Their Ford Model A, now a seasoned veteran of desert expeditions, carried them steadily northward, leaving behind the familiar sights and sounds of civilization. The landscape transformed with each passing mile, the lush coastal plains giving way to rolling sand dunes and rugged mountain passes. As they ventured deeper into the heart of Hadramaut, the air grew thick with anticipation. Wadi Sur was more than just a geographical location. It was a portal to the past, a place where time seemed to stand still. Boscawen, his senses heightened, scanned the horizon for any sign of the ancient rock carvings he had read about. Then, as if emerging from the desert haze itself, the walls of the wadi rose before them. Carved into the sheer rock face, ancient petroglyphs, some dating back millennia, told silent stories of a time when the desert teemed with life. Hunters stalked their prey, their bows drawn. Long-horned oryx grazed peacefully, and enigmatic symbols, their meanings lost to time, hinted at the spiritual beliefs of the people who had created them. Boscawen spent hours meticulously documenting the carvings, his notebooks filling with sketches, observations, and reflections. He was acutely aware that he was one of the few Westerners to ever lay eyes on these treasures, and he felt a deep responsibility to preserve their memory for generations to come. Leaving the wonders of Wadi Sur behind, Boscawen and his team continued their journey northward, their destination, the heartland of the Sayar tribe. The Sayar, renowned for their horsemanship and their deep knowledge of the desert, held a special place in Boscawen's imagination. He had heard tales of their fierce independence, their unwavering loyalty to their traditions, and their unmatched hospitality. As they approached the Sayar encampment, a group of horsemen emerged from the shimmering heat haze. Their faces, weathered by the desert sun, were initially unreadable, but as they drew closer, a cautious curiosity replaced their initial reserve. Boscawen, adhering to local custom, dismounted his camel and greeted the Sayar leader with a deep bow of respect. To his relief, Boscawen's diplomatic approach was well received. The Sayar, sensing his genuine respect for their culture, welcomed him and his team into their encampment. Over cups of strong, sweet tea, Boscawen shared news from the outside world, while the Sayar elders regaled him with stories of their history, their traditions, and their deep connection to the desert. Despite the language barrier, a bond of mutual respect and understanding quickly formed. Boscawen, ever the keen observer, was fascinated by the Sayar way of life, their ability to thrive in such a harsh and unforgiving environment. He knew that their knowledge and insights would prove invaluable in his quest to understand the secrets of the desert. Section 4. The Elusive Oryx. Word of Boscawen's arrival in their territory and his interest in the region's wildlife reached the ears of the Sayar. They were the guardians of the desert, possessing an intimate knowledge of its hidden oases and the creatures that roamed its vast expanse. Among these creatures, none held a more mythical status than the South Arabian oryx, a creature of grace and resilience that had roamed the Arabian Peninsula for millennia. Once found throughout the Arabian Peninsula, the oryx had been hunted to near extinction, its numbers decimated by habitat loss and the introduction of firearms. By the 1930s, sightings were incredibly rare, fueling its legendary status. Boscawen, captivated by the prospect of encountering this elusive creature, shared his desire to document its existence with the Sayar. Intrigued by Boscawen's genuine interest and understanding of the delicate balance of nature, the Sayar agreed to help him. They knew that the oryx, a symbol of the desert's resilience, was in dire need of protection. Perhaps this stranger, with his strange tools and insatiable curiosity, could be an ally in their fight to ensure its survival. And so, under the watchful eyes of the desert stars, a most unusual expedition set out into the heart of the empty quarter, a testament to the power of shared passion and the enduring allure of the unknown. The desert whispered tales of Colonel Boscawen long after his expeditions ended. He moved through the unforgiving landscape with an almost preternatural calm, his piercing blue eyes missing nothing. He listened more than he spoke, absorbing the sights, sounds, and stories of Hadramaut with an insatiable curiosity. Unlike many explorers of his era, Boscawen didn't seek fame or fortune. He was driven by a pure thirst for knowledge, a desire to understand the world around him, and a deep respect for the cultures he encountered. He meticulously documented his findings in countless journals and sketches, but he never sought to publish his adventures or bask in the limelight. This reticence puzzled many who knew of his exploits. Harold Ingrams, a fellow explorer who crossed paths with Boscawen in Aden, recalled urging him to share his experiences with the world.
"I can't spell," was Boscawen's characteristically self-deprecating reply.
But those who knew him best recognized a deeper truth behind his humor, a profound humility and an aversion to self-promotion. The true measure of Colonel Boscawen's legacy lies not in published accounts or grand pronouncements, but in the scattered fragments of memory he left behind. Like pieces of a forgotten mosaic, these glimpses into his character had to be painstakingly pieced together from the recollections of those whose lives he touched. Freya Stark, the intrepid explorer and writer, encountered Boscawen during her own travels through Hadramaut. She was struck by the warmth and respect he commanded from the local people. They remembered him not just as an explorer, but as a generous benefactor, a man who paid his guides fairly and treated everyone he met with kindness and respect. The stories emerged from the desert like whispers on the wind. There was the tale of Boscawen financing the education of his Arab employees' children, ensuring they had opportunities he never had. There was the mosque he built in Moa, a testament to his respect for different faiths and his commitment to the well-being of his community. And then there were the artifacts, tangible remnants of a life spent exploring the hidden corners of the world. These objects, carefully collected and preserved, offered tantalizing clues to the man behind the legend. To truly understand Colonel Boscawen, one had to look beyond the explorer and the scholar, and into the heart of the man himself. He was a complex figure, shaped by the horrors of war and the tranquility of the African wilderness. He was a man of action and contemplation, a soldier who found solace in the pursuit of knowledge. Those who knew him best spoke of his love for books and music, his passion for hunting and fishing, his quiet generosity, and his deep connection to the natural world. He was a man of simple tastes and unwavering principles, a man who valued integrity and humility above all else. He was, in many ways, an enigma, a man who shunned the limelight, yet whose actions spoke volumes. A man who claimed he couldn't spell, yet who filled countless journals with meticulous observations and elegant prose. A man who sought no glory, yet who left an indelible mark on the hearts and minds of those he met. Colonel Boscawen's expeditions were more than just solitary adventures into the unknown. They were bridges between worlds, forging connections between cultures that had remained largely isolated for centuries. His deep respect for the people of Hadramaut, his willingness to learn from their traditions, and his genuine interest in their lives earned him a level of trust and acceptance rarely afforded to outsiders. In a time when colonialism cast a long shadow across much of the world, Boscawen's approach was refreshingly different. He saw the people of Hadramaut not as subjects to be studied or exploited, but as equals, partners in the pursuit of knowledge and understanding. He recognized the value of their ancient wisdom, their deep connection to the land, and their unique perspective on the world. His relationships with local leaders, particularly Sultan Ali bin Salah al-Kuwaiti of Al-Qatan, were instrumental in facilitating his explorations. Sultan Ali, recognizing Boscawen's sincerity and integrity, opened doors for him that would have remained closed to others. He provided safe passage through his territory, introduced him to key tribal leaders, and shared his own knowledge of the region's history and culture. This mutual respect and understanding fostered a spirit of collaboration that yielded remarkable results, not just in terms of geographical exploration, but also in the fields of natural history and archaeology. Boscawen's discoveries, made possible by the trust and assistance of the Yemeni people, would shed new light on the ancient world and challenge long-held assumptions about this remote and often misunderstood region. Colonel Boscawen's passion for natural history was not merely a hobby, it was an integral part of his exploration philosophy. He believed that to truly understand a place, one had to understand its flora and fauna, its delicate ecosystems, and the interconnectedness of all living things. His expeditions became platforms for scientific discovery, yielding invaluable data and specimens that would enrich the collections of museums and institutions around the world. His meticulous observations and meticulous documentation of bird life in southern Arabia proved particularly significant. He collected hundreds of bird specimens, many of them previously unknown to Western science, and sent them to the Natural History Museum in London. These specimens, carefully preserved and catalogued, provided crucial insights into bird migration patterns, species distribution, and the impact of environmental changes on delicate ecosystems. But perhaps his most extraordinary contribution to the world of natural history involved a creature of myth and legend, the South Arabian oryx. This magnificent animal, once thought to be extinct, was rediscovered by Boscawen in the remote northern deserts of Hadramaut. Recognizing the oryx's precarious existence, he worked tirelessly with the Sayar tribe to ensure its protection, and even managed to send a live specimen to the London Zoo, the first to reach British shores in over 50 years. This act, driven by a deep respect for the natural world and a desire to share its wonders with others, cemented Boscawen's legacy as a conservationist ahead of his time. He understood that the survival of creatures like the oryx depended on collaboration, on bridging the gap between cultures, and on fostering a shared sense of responsibility for the planet's biodiversity. Among the many treasures Colonel Boscawen brought back from Hadramaut, none was more enigmatic or awe-inspiring than the bronze roaring lion. This magnificent artifact, a relic of the 8th to 7th century BC, had once stood guard at a monumental entranceway, its fierce visage a symbol of power and protection. Gifted to Boscawen by Sultan Ali, the lion found its way from the sands of Al-Katan to the hallowed halls of the Fitzwilliam Museum in Cambridge, where its roar continues to echo through the corridors of time. The lion's journey from the desert to the museum was itself a testament to Boscawen's unique ability to connect with people from all walks of life. When the British Museum, seemingly blinded by its own self-importance, failed to recognise the significance of the artefact, Boscawen sought out other avenues to ensure its preservation and display. His refusal to sell the lion to the highest bidder, despite being offered a small fortune by the renowned art dealer Lord Duveen, revealed the depth of his integrity and his belief that some treasures are simply priceless. Today, the bronze lion stands as a silent ambassador of a forgotten time and a testament to the legacy of Colonel Boscawen. It serves as a reminder that exploration is about more than just conquering new frontiers or accumulating personal glory. It is about forging connections, fostering understanding, and preserving the treasures of the past for generations to come. The lion's roar, though silent, continues to resonate, urging us to embrace the spirit of exploration, to venture beyond the familiar, and to approach the unknown with respect, humility, and a deep appreciation for the interconnectedness of all things. Colonel Boscawen's name may not be etched on grand monuments or celebrated in popular adventure tales, yet his legacy endures. It's a legacy woven into the fabric of Hadramaut's history, whispered in the rustling palm groves of Wadi Irma, and preserved in the hushed halls of the Fitzwilliam Museum. He was a quiet force, a man of action rather than words, and his impact resonated most profoundly in the lives he touched and the treasures he helped safeguard. He walked among sultans and Bedouin tribesmen with equal respect, understanding that true knowledge resided not in one's lineage, but in the shared human experience. His expeditions were never about conquest, but about connection. He sought not to claim, but to comprehend. The treasures he unearthed, from delicate bird specimens to the magnificent bronze lion, were not trophies, but testaments to the richness and diversity of the world he so passionately explored. His aversion to self-promotion might have kept his name out of the headlines, but it ensured that his actions spoke louder than any self-aggrandizing narrative. In a world hungry for fame and recognition, he chose a different path, one paved with humility, integrity, and a deep reverence for the cultures and environments he encountered. The Fitzwilliam Museum, with its grand facade and meticulously curated collections, stands as a testament to the enduring power of human curiosity and the importance of preserving the treasures of the past. Within its walls, Colonel Boscawen's legacy finds a permanent home, not just in the magnificent bronze lion that greets visitors, but in the very ethos of the institution itself. His collection, a testament to his discerning eye and eclectic tastes, spans centuries and continents. Renaissance sculptures stand shoulder to shoulder with ancient artifacts from Hadramaut, each piece meticulously chosen not for its monetary value, but for its intrinsic beauty and the stories it tells. The bronze lion, however, holds a place of honour, a symbol of Boscawen's enduring connection to the land and people he held so dear. The museum's commitment to education and research aligns perfectly with Boscawen's own thirst for knowledge and his belief in the power of shared understanding. Each year, countless visitors wander through its galleries, marveling at the artifacts on display, their imaginations ignited by the stories these objects embody. And in research labs and libraries, scholars pore over Boscawen's journals and sketches, piecing together the fragments of his extraordinary life and adding to the ever-growing body of knowledge about the world he so meticulously documented. Colonel Boscawen's story serves as a powerful reminder that exploration is not just about physical journeys, but about intellectual curiosity, cultural sensitivity, and a deep respect for the natural world. It's about asking questions, challenging assumptions, and embracing the unknown with a sense of wonder and humility. It's about recognizing the interconnectedness of all things and our responsibility to preserve the planet's rich tapestry of life for generations to come. His legacy lives on, not just in museums and archives, but in the hearts and minds of those he inspired. It lives on in the work of scientists and conservationists who strive to understand and protect our planet's fragile ecosystems. It lives on in the classrooms where teachers share his story, igniting a spark of curiosity in their students' eyes. And it lives on in the spirit of every individual who dares to dream, to explore, and to make a difference in the world. The desert winds may have long since erased Colonel Boscawen's footsteps from the sands of time, but his spirit lives on, an enduring testament to the power of human curiosity, the importance of cultural understanding, and the transformative potential of a life well lived.